Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to do my mid-season driver ranking. If you haven't visited my channel before, hi, my name is Diamond Racing. I do F1 things, and if you enjoy that kind of things, please subscribe, like this video. I'm very excited to make more YouTube videos. I just want to explain myself before I go into my 21 until first, because I'm going to do every single person, Daniel Ricciardo and Nick de Vries included. I started from the start of the season to give on each race. I ranked the driver from 20th to first, with the qualifying, the race, sprint race, and shootout. Every single one of them counts, and then I take the smallest margin or uh, the average. The lowest average is first, and the highest average is last. So please don't kill me or cancel me because some of your favorite drivers aren't lower, or some people you don't like is higher, because there is a few shocks in here. Even I am shocked with a few of them. So if I discuss videos, let's just get into this today and let's start. Last place in 21 on my list is going to be Logan Sargent. Now Sargent is a rookie, and every single one of the rookies I gave a little bit more leeway, except for Nick de Vries, because he isn't actually a rookie, but we will get there. Logan Sargent, he's still very young. I think he can do better if he wants to, but at the moment he's not doing as good as I think he should, but hopefully he can get on top of it, because I think Williams will give him leeway until next year. They don't put so much pressure on him as much as the AlphaTauri boys have on them, so probably they just want good results and just some stability. So let's see what happens. P20 on my list is going to be Nick de Vries. Now Nick de Vries is in front of Logan. It's weird. I think the last few races Logan has a little bit dropped in form, but Nick de Vries, he was bad. Had a few crashes, not so good in the qualifying or the races. Yuki destroyed him, in all honesty. But I think if they gave Nick de Vries more time, I think he would have performed better. But I understand why Red Bull and AlphaTauri did what they did, because he's older than Verstappen, Leclerc, Norris, and that's a big no if he doesn't perform like in his first 10 races. So yeah, that's all I can say about him. But yeah, P19, a shock I think, but Lance Stroll. Now Lance Stroll, I don't think he's a good driver. I never thought he was a good driver. Sometimes he has shown the flashes of a solid driver, but now that Alonso is next to him, he's just been destroyed in every single way. I think he's P9 in the standings, or P8. You can tell me. And Fernando Alonso is second. In the beginning of the year, he had a fast car and he didn't use it. I think if they put anyone like Albon or Tsunoda in there, I think probably that they would be P2 in the beginning of the year. But I don't think Lance Stroll deserves to be in F1. He hasn't shown that he can do what the rest of the people can do. Yeah, we'll see what Lawrence Stroll chooses to do in the future. P18 is going to be Kevin Magnussen. Now Kevin Magnussen is a weird one, because last year was so good and I was so surprised. He's one of my favorite drivers, and I don't know what to expect this year. I think Nick Hulkenberg would be, sometimes Nico does better, sometimes Magnussen does better, but I was so surprised at how bad Magnussen was this year. I have heard things that he's struggling with the development of the car and it doesn't suit him so much, but this is Formula One. You have to get used to it, otherwise you're out. There is some people I know that can get the seat if he doesn't perform, so I really hope Magnussen performs. P17 is going to be Zhou Guanyu or Guan Yu Zhou. Last year was a solid rookie. He was the only one, but I think he did a very good job at doing good or being a good driver for a rookie. Now this year, I don't know if it's the car. but I think Zhao and the car is just, the performance doesn't mix or match. I don't think it was so good this year. So far, it's only been 12 races. But yeah, I don't think Zhao has done good enough probably to merit Alfa Romeo to keep him. I hope he picks up the pace, or probably they're gonna get Porsche to get in the seat if he wins the F2 title. That's a big chance at the moment. But yeah, P16. This is going to be another shock. It's Sergio Perez. He did a solid first 4 races, but from Monaco onwards, he just destroyed his career in Red Bull. Well, not destroy, he can still rebuild it, but he's not been good at all. In the races, losing by Verstappen by 20 seconds, 30 seconds in the same car, not making it to Q1 and Q2 like 5 times in a row. It's just a little bad, you know? And I really hope he gets his shit together before the end of the year, because I know Red Bull aren't going to take his side too leniently if he doesn't step it up like in the next 3 races. He has to win one of the next races to show Red Bull that he can keep here. So yeah, that's my opinion. But yeah, P15 is going to be Valtteri Bottas. Now Bottas in front of Perez is a big one, but I think Bottas has done better than Zhao this year. Had some solid races, not so solid races, and yeah, it's just been a very weird one for Bottas. I don't know, the car hasn't been performing, but he's still ahead of Yuki and yeah, only Yuki, I think. Sorry. And yeah, it's been up and down. Yeah, mostly downs, but hopefully Alfa Romeo can get their things together like they did in Hungary, and then the drivers can do a pretty good rest of the season. P14, this is so controversial. I can't believe that this person is here, and it's going to be Oscar Piastri. Now, I went over my points and scores 3 times just to make sure I did it correctly. But when revisiting the beginning of the year, I didn't give Oscar, so I don't think Oscar Piastri did very good in the beginning of the season. I know he had a bad car, but compared to Norris, which is such a good driver, he just didn't perform. Maybe I was just a little bit too harsh, but I can change the things now. But Oscar Piastri is P14, and I'm so shocked. I think in the rest of the season he might go down lower, but at the moment he's just P14 for me. I've been so impressed with him. That's why I'm so shocked that he's P14. The last 3 or 5 races, he's been so good and so consistent, and I'm still shocked that he's P14 on my list. So please don't kill me, but I think he will improve heavily with my end of the year ranking. So yeah, P13, Carlos Sainz. Now Carlos was ahead of Leclerc in the points for most of this year. I think Leclerc had a little bit more bad luck this year. Sainz was, how can I say, consistent enough this year to be in front of Leclerc. I'm not making any major mistakes until Belgium, and yeah, but he wasn't faster than Leclerc in my opinion. Consistent near Leclerc, but not faster than Leclerc. And yeah, the Ferrari this year hasn't been as good as they were hoping for like last year. So hopefully in the second half of the season, Leclerc and Sainz would do better in the Ferrari. P12 is going to be Esteban Ocon. Now, I'm a little bit surprised Esteban Ocon is P12, but I will get into why Gasly is in front of him. But Esteban Ocon has had a very good season this far, and I think he has had some downs, but he has gotten the P3 podium at Monaco, which was a massive up, and I counted that. But he has been making some mistakes, and I don't know. P12 for Esteban Ocon. That's all I can say. I don't know. It's been such a weird year for Alpine. It's been not performance-wise not good, but also management-wise. but I believe Ocon will go up with the rest of the season. P11, Ferrari fans, please don't kill me. It's going to be Charles Leclerc. I was also surprised that Leclerc was so high on this list. In the beginning of the year, he made a lot of mistakes. I remember Australia at Melbourne. He did not have a good qualifying, and also he crashed out in the first lap. And I think that was more on his fault than Stroll's fault. And then Spain was just one to forget. And we have to count all these things. This list is like the most non-biased list ever because it's just going with performance-wise. And sadly, Leclerc is finishing P11. I think the last few races he has been very good, but the beginning of the season was just not good enough. P10 is going to be our first point scorer, and it is Nico Hulkenberg. Now, I've been very impressed with Nico Hulkenberg's performance, especially in qualifying. The reason he's so low is probably the qualifying performance, because that counts also. The race performance, probably because of the Haas, he dropped like a stone every single race. But you have to count that in also. And I think he has been so solid this year. He has been some misses and some very good qualifiers, like I said. He almost had a podium in Melbourne before the red flag. So take from that as you will. P9 is going to be Yuki Tsunoda. Now, Yuki Tsunoda has been so good this year. I think he has probably been the best performer from last year to this year. Biggest step up in my opinion. Sorry. He has been so good, and I was so impressed with his points that he has gotten, and the Spa race in particular was so good. I think he was very good. So yeah, the rest of the season it will be interesting to see who will be better, Ricciardo or Tsunoda. At the moment, I think Tsunoda has the edge. But you'll see on this list where I place Ricciardo, and I'll tell you why. But I hope Yuki gets a Red Bull seat with Ricciardo, so it will be no more Verstappen dominance, hopefully. P8 is going to be Pierre Gasly. Now, Esteban Ocon has more points. He has a podium. But Pierre Gasly was with AlphaTauri his whole life. He's jumped in this car with Alpine, and the management has not been good. So low morale, probably. He has been on par with qualifying in the races. Esteban has gotten the edge, but I think Pierre Gasly has shown with if he is newly in this team, that he can just be as good. Now, I'm not sure why with the point system I've gotten he's in front of Ocon. I think some races he just been more consistent, in my opinion. Esteban had made some mistakes, Gasly too, with that one of Melbourne. But I think Gasly is still performing so good. And we'll see where he finishes in the second half of the season on my list. Now, P7, please don't kill me for this one. I don't know why he's here. It's Lewis Hamilton. In the beginning of the season, I looked back and he did not perform as good. Now, let me just explain that on the end of the race, I give the driver's ranking, so I can't remember why or how I felt, but I can change it because it's a non-biased kind of thing. It's not because I don't like Hamilton. I really don't like him, but I think he's such a good driver, and he is P7. I think he has had a hand on Russell the last few races, so I'm surprised he's P7 so high. I thought he would be so much lower, and I think he's been the best driver so far in the Mercedes camp, but George and Hamilton has been so close in the lowest average also, so please don't kill me. I think he will go down on the list as the year progresses, so please don't kill me for this, but I have to be true to myself, and this is why this is P7. P6, George Russell. Now, George had a very good first 5 or 6 races. That's why I think he's lower than Hamilton. But near on the end, he's been struggling a lot, and I think that's more because Hamilton has just been so good. And I think that's why Russell is in front of Hamilton, because the first half of the season is, well, the first quarter of the season is just been faster than Hamilton in my ranking. So yeah, I don't know. But Russell in front of Hamilton, very controversial, but yeah. P5 is going to be Lando Norris. I'm surprised Norris is so low. I think there's a few races he missed, but the rest has been so consistent, and the last few has been so good, except for Spa, where Piastri was the better driver in my opinion, or has more pace. But Norris has been so good, even though his car wasn't good. He took the chances when he got it, and when his car became good, he just showed everyone why he's a top tier driver. And I believe he's a top tier driver. And yeah, he's so good, and I'm so glad that McLaren has given him upgrades. So yeah. P4 is Darren Ricciardo. Now, how the video and my planning for the video is, I take every single race and I divide it with how much races there were. And because Daniel Ricciardo only had 2 races, he did good enough in both of them. So I think in the end of the year ranking, he would go like so much higher on this list, because there's more races to, because there's 2, 1 plus 1 equals 2, instead of 1 plus 1 times 3, 12 times, so it's a little bit of a cheat code at the moment, but I have to be truthful. So far with these 2 races, he's been P4. I think he will drop heavily when the year goes by, but for now he's P4. P3, probably my biggest shock on this list, is going to be Alex Albon. Now, Alex has been so good this year, I'm not gonna lie, but I don't think he would be so consistent. Now, Albon has shown that he is a top tier driver. He destroyed Latifi last year, and he's the only one that whitewashed his teammate this year. I did count in that Sargent is a rookie, and he still finished P3. Now, Lando and Albon are very close. I think Albon just nudges it into the 3rd place bracket. So yeah, that's why Albon is P3, and I'm glad he's here, because it shows you how good he has been this year. The car wasn't that good all season. The last few races he's been better, but he's still performing crazy. I think he's P12 at the moment in the standings. P12 in that car. It's crazy. He's been so good. That's why he's P3. If he gets a drive by Ferrari, I would love to see that so much. I think he's been so much better than he was when he was a Red Bull. I think he understands how the things work now. So yeah. And my top 2, P2, Fernando Alonso. Now, Fernando Alonso destroyed Lance Stroll, like I said. And he's been, I think he was, in the first 5 races, he was my number 1 driver. But then the other person on the list, that we talk about later, and just ramped it up, and Alonso just fell a little bit off, but just a little bit. The car fell off, but I think his performance was quite the same, and some races he did do some mistakes, like Austria. I don't think was a good weekend for him, and the Spa sprint race, he made a big mistake. So Fernando Alonso is still such a good driver at the age that he is. I hope Aston Martin get their things right, because they got a world champion capable driver in their hands at the moment, at the age that he is now. And number 1, no doubt who that number 1 is going to be Max Verstappen. Now, this guy is going to break Vettel's record, sadly, because I'm a big Vettel fan. If he doesn't, I'll come back to the video and smack myself or smile. We will see. But Verstappen has been so dominant, winning the last 8 races and 2 of the others. So he's won 10 of the 12 races so far in the Red Bull, where his teammate only won 2 and struggles to get into qualifying 3. He's beating his teammate by 30 seconds. I don't know what it is to say more. People say that it's the car, but then you look at Perez, and then people say Perez doesn't have the same car. Perez came out and said that that isn't true. If that was true, why would Perez stay? I don't know. So Max Verstappen is P1. That's just how it is at the moment. The Red Bull Verstappen combination is just too good. So that is my top 21 for this year. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't kill me and hate me in the comment section down below. It's just my opinion and the way that my rating system works. I'll come back, and when I do my end of the season driver ranking, I will compare the two, like let's say how much Daniel Ricciardo moves up or moves down. Then I'll show you that. And yeah, please like and subscribe this video. I'm still new at this, so give me pointers on how I can make more entertaining videos, because I really want to get more viewers and subscribers. So thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe and like this video, and have a nice day, and have a nice mid-season summer break. Cheers.